Hello everyone, welcome back to Mathematics Center channel. Now in this part 2 video of similar triangles, we are going to solve the think discussion problems and do this try this problems which are before the exercise 1 and also the exercise 1 problems. So now let us see the question. Think and discuss problem, page number 196. Can you give some more examples from your daily life where scale factor is used? We have already completed about scale factor in the part 1 video and where it is used and how it is used with scale factor less than 1 and with scale factor greater than 1, with scale factor equal to 1, with some examples we have seen clearly. Now let's try the same. In construction plans, blueprints of houses and dams etc. scale factor is used. In atlas, maps are drawn by taking the scale factor less than 1. In photography, flex printing and Xerox centers to enlarge or to reduce the original image or text to scale factor is used. Okay, now let us look at the next question. Think and discuss problem, page number 197. Can you say that a square and a rhombus are similar? Discuss with your friends, write why the conditions are not sufficient. We know that two polygons are said to be similar when their corresponding angles are same and the ratio of corresponding sides should be same. But here in a square and rhombus, in a square we know that all sides are equal and all angles are equal. And here in rhombus only all sides are equal but all angles are not equal, only opposite pairs of angles are equal. So in this case we will get the corresponding sides ratio same but we don't get the corresponding angles equal. So now we can say because in rhombus all the angles are not equal, only opposite pairs of angles are equal. So all angles are not equal to the all angles of rhombus and hence they are not similar. Now let's see the next question. Do this question, page number 198. First question, fill in the blank with the similar or not similar word. All squares are dash. We know that all squares are regular polygons. So regular polygons having equal number of sides are always similar. We have learnt already in the part 1 video. So here all squares are similar. Why? Because their angles are equal and corresponding sides will be in the same ratio. Now let us look at the second one. All equilateral triangles are dash. All equilateral triangles are also regular polygons. So we know that all regular polygons are similar if they are having equal number of sides. So all equilateral triangles are similar. Next, the third one, all isosceles triangles are dash. Here let us check first. Let us take an example. So I am taking one triangle. Okay, here I am taking 70. Here let me take 55 degrees, 55 degrees, 55, 55, 110 and 110 this plus 70, you will get 180, angles and properties satisfied. So this side and this side will be equal. Why? Because 55, 55 angles are equal and the sides opposite to equal angles are equal. Okay. So now let us take one more thing. I am taking here now 50, 50. 50 degrees, 50 degrees and this will be 80. This will be equal and these two will be equal. Why? Because sides opposite to equal angles are equal. Now this is an isosceles triangle and this is also an isosceles triangle. Okay. So now if you look at the angles, 55, 55, 70 is there, here 50, 50, 80 is there. So isosceles triangles are not having, in this case, all angles equal. So we cannot say that all isosceles triangles are similar. Why? Because corresponding angles are not same. Then how can we say that isosceles triangles are similar? So these are not similar. And next, two polygons with same number of sides are dash if their corresponding angles are equal and corresponding sides are equal. And we know that two polygons having equal number of sides will be similar if their corresponding sides ratio is equal and also if their angles are equal. Here already it is given both conditions satisfied. Actually this is congruent and we know that congruent objects are also similar. But here we cannot write congruent. Why? Because we are asked to write only similar or not similar. So here we can write similar. Now let us look at the next one. Reduced and enlarged photographs of an object are dash. Reduced or enlarged photographs are what? Similar. Why? Because they are enlarged or reduced by using some scale factor. So now rhombus and squares are dashed to each other. Are they similar? Actually they are not similar. Why? Because we have just seen in the first do this question or think discuss question that rhombus and squares are not similar. Why? Because their corresponding angles are not equal. So they are not similar. Write a true or false for the following statements. Any two similar figures are not congruent. Any two means what? All similar figures are not congruent. We know that some are congruent, some are not congruent. If their sizes are same, then we can say that they are congruent. If the sizes of similar figures are not same, then we can say that they are not congruent. So this statement is true. And the second statement, any two congruent figures are similar. We know that all congruent figures are similar, so any two figures are nothing but all congruent figures. So all congruent figures are similar. This statement is also true. Now here two polygons are similar if their corresponding angles are equal. We cannot say that if only angles are equal, then what about the second condition to verify? What is the second condition to say that they are similar? The second condition is the corresponding side should be in the same ratio. But he did not mention anything about the second condition. He mentioned about only equal angles, that is first condition. And we know that it is applicable, it is true in the case of only triangles. In equiangular triangles, if the condition 1 satisfies, then automatically condition 2 also satisfies, and vice versa. But in other polygons, it doesn't satisfy like that. Okay, they are not independent in the case of other polygons. So here, as we have only one condition, that is corresponding angles are equal, we cannot say that they are similar. So here we can write false. Now third question, give two different examples of pair of similar figures and non-similar figures. For similar figures, we can take two circles, and second example we can take two semicircles. Why? Because circles are same, making 360 degrees at the center, so they look round, and semicircles also making 180 degrees at the center, so they are also look half circles, and half circle shape is same. And next second question answer, non-similar figures. We can write the same example or otherwise different example, no problem. I am writing here circle and semicircle is one example of non-similar figures. Okay, and one more pair is square and rectangle. Okay, now let us look at the next question. Try this page number 201. In triangle PQR, E and F are points on the sides PQ and PR respectively for each of the following. That means some statements are given, question number 1, question number 2 and question number 3. Okay, for these state whether EF is parallel to QR or not. Okay, to understand this, first of all let us draw the PQR triangle. PQR triangle I have drawn, and what is given, point E is on the PQ, so point E I have taken on PQ side, and F is on PR, so F I have taken on PR. Similarly I have taken for the second question also. Okay, then what is given in the first question, P is given as 3.9 cm, so I have labeled here 3.9, EQ is 3, and PF is equal to 3.6 centimeters, and FR is equal to 2.4 centimeters. Similarly I have labeled here also. So now what we have to show, we have to say that whether EF is parallel to Q or not, whether this EF is parallel to QR or not. How we can say? By using converse of basic proportionality theorem. That is, the statement of basic proportionality theorem converse is, if a line or side drawn divides the two sides of a triangle in equal ratio, then we say that the side which is drawn is parallel to the third side. Okay, first of all let us find out the ratios that EF divides both PQ and PR. Okay, first of all we have to find out the ratios and we have to compare the ratios. If the ratios are equal, then we can say that EF is parallel to QR, otherwise not. Okay, so first I am taking this ratio PE by EQ. PE by EQ. So P is given 3.9, EQ is 3. So 3 by 9 by 3. If you cancel this, you will get 3 ones are 0.33 are 9. So answer is 1.3. And let us consider one more ratio, that is PF by FR. PF is given as 3.6 and FR is given as 2.4. Here point we can cancel. Why? Because equal number of decimal places is there. Now this is 36 by 24. If we cancel by using 12 table, 12 is a 24 and 12 is a 36, that is 3 by 2. And if you further simplify, you will get 1.5. So here we have got 1.3 and here we have got 1.5. So we can say that these two are not equal ratios. So that means this EF is not dividing this PQ side and PR side in the same ratio. So we can say that this EF is not parallel to QR by using the converse of basic proportionality theorem. So since PE by EQ is not equals to PF by FR, therefore EF is not parallel to QR. What is the reason? Converse of BPT. Now let us look at the second question. Similarly, here also we have to find the same ratio, that is PE by EQ. So PE is given as 4 and EQ is given as 4 by 4.5. So 4 by 4.5. So you will get 40 by 45. I am just multiplying both numerator and denominator with the 10. So you will get here 40 and here 45. Now I am cancelling with the 5 table, that is 5 9s are 5 8s are. Here we have got 8 by 9. I am just keeping aside. Let us simplify further if required. So now let us take another ratio, that is PF by FR. So PF is given as 8 and FR is given as 9. So here also we have got 8 by 9 and here also we have got 8 by 9. So both ratios are equal. So here what we can say, if the ratios in which this EF divides PQ and QR equal, then we say that EF is parallel to QR by using converse of BPT theorem. So since PE by EQ is equal to PF by FR, therefore EF is parallel to QR from converse of BPT. Is that clear? Now let us look at the next question. Here what is given? PQ value is given. That means big side value is given and PE value is given. This side value, this small side value is given, but EQ is not given. Similarly, PR is given here and PF is given. Only this is given. This is not given. So we cannot solve this like in the case of first and second problems. How we solved PE by EQ is equal to PF by FR. If they are equal, then we said that EF is parallel to QR, otherwise not. So we have one more condition, that if this EF is parallel to this, then we will get these two angles equal. Why? Because they are corresponding angles. Similarly, these two angles will also be equal. Why? Because again they are also one corresponding pair of angle, and this is the common angle in this small triangle and the big triangle. So that means we can say that the angle P is equal to angle P only. So these three angles are equal to these three angles. So that means this small triangle and this big triangle are similar. So when they are similar, we can write, what we can write? Corresponding sides ratio must be equal. So we can write that PE by its corresponding big side, that is PQ, is equal to EF by QR. We can write that is equal to PF by this total thing, that is PR. We can write. Okay. But here what we have to apply? We have only these four values. That means we have to apply only this. This we should ignore. Okay, now let us apply this PE by PQ. What is PE value? 1.8. PQ value 1.28. And I am multiplying these two with 100 by 100. So that is 180. And here you will get 128. If I cancel with the 4 table, you will get 4 3 is 12. 4 2 is 8, 4 4 is 16, 2 is left, 2 and 0, 20, 4 5 is 20. Now let us find out the PF by PF by PR value. What is PF? 3.6. What is PR value? 2.56. And similarly you will get here 360 and here 256. If you cancel with the 8 table, you will get 8 3 is 24. 1 is left, 1 and 6 16, 8 2 is 16, 8 4 is 32, here 4 is left, 4 and 0 40, 8 5 is 40. So here both the ratios are equal. So we can say that EF is parallel to QR. Is that clear? So now let's see here. One funny thing is there in this question. PF is 3.6 centimeters and PR is 2.56. See, actually PR is greater than PF, but PR value is given as 2.56 and PF value is given as 3.60, which is greater than PR. And similarly here also, PE value is given as 1.8 centimeter and the bit size value is given as less than this, that is 1.28. Okay, but no problem, the values are given. We have to anyway substitute to say that EF is parallel to QR or not. Now let us look at the next question. In the following figures, D is parallel to BC. Already given that D is parallel to BC. Find EC. So here already given that this is parallel to this. So here we can directly apply the BPT theorem. Here we applied in the first question all bits. We applied the converse of BPT, but here we can directly apply the BPT theorem. According to BPT theorem, if any line is drawn to intersect the two sides, which is parallel to the third side, then definitely it intersects the two sides in same ratio. That means AD by DB is equal to AE by EC from BPT. Okay, so what is AD value? AD value is 1.5 and what is this? DB 3 and AE value is given as 1. EC value is not given, so write as it is. So now if you cancel this, 1.5 ones are 1.5 twos are. So 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by EC. So therefore if you reciprocate it, you will get EC is equal to 2 centimeters. Okay, we have got EC is equal to 2 centimeters. So I am writing in the place of EC 2 centimeter. Answer is completed. Now let us look at the next question. Find AD. So we know that according to BPT, if this is parallel to this, okay, AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. What is AD value? Not given, so write as it is. DB value is given as 7.2 centimeters, so write 7.2. AE value is given as 1.8, so write 1.8. By EC value is given as 5.4, so write. So here on the right side, same number of decimal places are there, so I am cancelling the decimal point. So now it is 18 by 24, 18 ones are, 18 threes are. Okay, now I want only AD, so I am shifting that side. That it becomes 7.2 by 3. If we cancel this, 3 twos are 6, 1 is left, 1 into 12. So point is there, so put point. Now it is 12, 3 4s are 12. The answer is AD is equal to 2.4 centimeters. The answer is completed. Now let us look at the next question. Do this page number 204. What value or values of x will make DE parallel to BC in the given figure? AD is given as 8x plus 9. CD is given as x plus 3. BE is given as 3x plus 4. And CE is given as x. Okay. So now if this is parallel to this, that means a side drawn parallel to the third side of a triangle, then it compulsorily divides the first and second sides in the same ratio according to BPT theorem. Now we are going to apply the same BPT theorem. Okay. So if DE parallel to AB, then from BPT, that is basic proportionality theorem, CD by DA is equal to CE by EB. What is CD value? CD value is given as x plus 3 and DA value is given as 8x plus 9 is equal to CE value is given as x. So x by EB value is given as 3x plus 4. So now if you cross multiply, you will get x plus 3 into this 3x plus 4 is equal to x into this 8x plus 9 you will get. So if you further multiply x into 3x, you will get 3x square. X into plus 4 you will get plus 4x plus 3 into plus 3x you will get 9x plus 3 into plus 4 you will get plus 12 is equal to x into plus 8x you will get 8x square plus x into plus 9 you will get plus 9x. Now if you further simplify, you will get 3x square plus 4x plus 9x you will get, or otherwise you can cancel here, plus 9x plus 9x. Okay, so here plus 4x plus 12 is equal to 8x square. Okay, so now I am shifting the total thing that side, so you will get 8x square minus 3x square minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. That is 8 minus 3, you will get 5x square minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. I am writing this minus 4x as minus 10x plus 6x. I think you should know why I am writing minus 4x as minus 10x and minus 6x. In 8th class factorization topic we have learnt this, okay? It is in the form of x plus a into x plus b or x minus a into x minus b. So that is why I am writing minus 4x in the form of minus 10x plus 6x. So that minus 10 into 6 you will get minus 60. Same as that 5 into minus 12 you will get minus 60. Okay? So now in this I am taking 5x common. If you take 5x common, so you will get here x and here you will get minus 2. So x minus 2. And here if you take plus 6 common from these two terms, then you will get x minus 2 again is equal to 0. Now x minus 2 common, then you will get 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. That is x minus 2 is equal to 0 or 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. That is x is equal to 2 or x is equal to minus 6 by 5. This fraction value we don't take, so we consider this only. So x value is 2 is the answer. Now let us look at the next question. Same do this, page number 204, second question. In triangle ABC, DE is parallel to BC. This DE is given as parallel to BC. AD value is given x, DB value is given x minus 2, AE value is given x plus 2 and EC value is given as x minus 1. Find the value of x. We know that in a triangle, if any line drawn parallel to one side, then it should divide other two sides in the same ratio according to BPT theorem. So we are going to apply the same BPT theorem here. So what is given? Given that DE is parallel to BC. So from BPT we can say that AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. That is AD value is given as x. So x by DB value is given as x minus 2 is equal to AE value is given as x plus 2 by EC value is given as x minus 1. So now let us cross multiply here. X into x minus 1 is equal to x plus 2 into x minus 2. So if you multiply x into x square, x into minus 1, minus x. So here it is in the form of x plus 2 into x minus 2. That means a plus b into a minus b. So we can write it as a square minus b square. So that is x square minus 2 square. So here on both sides x square we can cancel. So we have got that minus x is equal to minus 4. So if you further cancel minus, you will get x is equal to 4. That is our required answer. Now let us look at the next question. Think and discuss problem, page number 207. Discuss with your friends that in what way the similarity of triangles is different from the similarity of other polygons. Okay. So for other polygons, we need to verify two conditions to say about their similarity. That first one, corresponding angle should be the same, and second one, their corresponding sides should be in same ratio. Then only we can say that the given two polygons are similar. But in the case of triangles, if only one condition is given as satisfied, then we can say that they are similar. Why? Because other condition also follows the same. But in the other polygons, we cannot decide or we cannot verify the similarity of other polygons with only one given condition. That is the difference between these two similarities of triangles and other polygons. Now let's see. In triangles, if corresponding angles are equal, then their corresponding sides will be in proportion and vice versa. Hence, we can say that if any of the two conditions of similarity of triangles satisfies, then they are said to be similar. But in other polygons, we can't verify their similarity with only one required condition out of the two. Okay, out of the two conditions, if only one condition is given, whether angles are equally given or only corresponding sides are in proportion given, we cannot decide and we cannot say that they are similar. So this is the difference between triangles similarity and similarity of other polygons. Now let us look at the exercise problems. First problem, in triangle PQR, ST is a line such that PS by SQ is equal to PT by TR, and also this angle PST is equal to angle PRQ. Okay, prove that this total PQR triangle is isosceles triangle. Okay, so now what is given? Given that PS by SQ is equal to PT by TR. So PS by SQ is nothing but the ratio in which ST divides this PQ, and this PT by TR is nothing but the ratio in which the same ST divides the PR ratio. Okay, so that means this ST is dividing this side and this side in equal ratios. So what we can say from the converse of BPT theorem, if this ratio is equal to this ratio, then we can say that this is parallel to this. Okay, so we can write ST is parallel to QR from converse of BPT. Yes. So now after getting ST is parallel to this, we can say that these two are corresponding angles. So these will be equal. Angle PST will be equal to angle PQR. Why? Why? Because they are corresponding angles. We know that if two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then the corresponding angles will be equal. So now this ST is parallel to QR, these two are parallel and this is a transversal. So these two angles formed are corresponding angles and these two are equal. Similarly, if these two are parallel and this is considered as a transversal, these two angles are also equal. Why? Because they are also corresponding angles. So angle PTS will be equal to angle PRQ. Why? Again they are corresponding angles. Okay. So but what is given? Given that angle PST is equal to angle PRQ. Okay. So PRQ is equal to PTS and PST is equal to PQR and PST is equal to PRQ. From these three, what we can write? Angle PQR is equal to angle PRQ. Okay, that means these two angles are equal. And we know that in a triangle, if two angles are equal, then the sides opposite to the equal angles are also equal. So we can write the angle opposite to this R is PQ. Okay, the angle opposite to Q angle is PR, and the angle opposite to R angle is PQ. So therefore, triangle PQR is an isosceles triangle. Now let us look at the next question. Second question, in the figure, LM is parallel to CP and LN is parallel to CD, and we have to prove that AM by AB is equal to AN by AD. Okay, so now let us prove. So what is given? Given in triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, what is given? LM is parallel to CB. LM is parallel to CB. So from basic proportionality theorem, we can write that AL by AC is equal to AM by AB. From BPT theorem. Let it be equation number 1. And what is given? One more condition. Given in triangle ABC, this below triangle, what is given? LN is parallel to DC. So here also we can apply the same. AL by AC. AL by AC is equal to AN by AD. from again BPT theorem. Let it be equation number 2. So now from 1 and 2, if you observe AL by AC, AL by AC both are same. So we can equate the RHS. So therefore from 1 and 2, AM by AB is equal to AN by AD. Hence it is proved. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 3. In the given figure, DE is parallel to AC. This DE is parallel to AC and DF is parallel to AE. This DF is parallel to AE. So what we have to prove? We have to prove that BF by FE is equal to BE by AC. So now let us start. Given in triangle Now let us look at the next question. Question number 3. In the given figure, DE is parallel to AC. This DE is parallel to AC and DF is parallel to AE. This DF is parallel to AE. So we have to prove that BF by FE is equal to BE by EC. BE by EC we have to prove. So now let us start the solution. Given in triangle ABC, this DE is parallel to AC. Given that DE is parallel to AC. So we know that if this is parallel to this, then it divides this and this in equal ratio from basic proportionality theorem. That is BE by EC is equal to BD by DA from BPT. Let it be equation number 1. And also it is given that given in triangle ABE, what is given? DF is parallel to AE. So if DF is parallel to AE, then we can write BF by FE is equal to BD by DA from BPT again. Let it be equation number 2. Now from 1 and 2, we can see that BD by DA RHS are equal. So we can equate the LHS. So therefore from 1 and 2, we can write BE by EC is equal to BF by FE. Okay. So BF by FE is equal to BE by EC. Hence it is proved. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 4. Prove that a line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle, okay, parallel to another side, bisects the third side. So to understand this question, first of all I am taking a triangle ABC. A line drawn through the midpoint of one side. The side is I am taking as AB and midpoint of that I am taking as D. And a line drawn through this midpoint, okay, which is parallel to other side, definitely we bisects the other side. So what we have to prove here? E is the midpoint of AC. That means D is bisecting the AC. So if DE bisects the AC into two equal parts, then E should be the midpoint of AC. So it is enough to prove that E is the midpoint of AC such that AE is equal to AC. So now let us prove. Okay. So now given that D is parallel to BC, so from basic proportionality theorem, if a line drawn parallel to the third side, then it divides other two sides in same ratio. That is AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. Okay. So we know that AD is equal to DB. Why? Because D is the midpoint. So we can write in the place of DB I am writing AD once again. Okay, in the place of DB I am writing AD. Why? Because AD DB both are equal. So AE by EC. Why? Because AD equal to DB. Okay. Now this is cancelled. You will get AE by EC is equal to 1. That is AE is equal to EC. That is E is the midpoint of AC. So here what we can write? Hence proof. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 5. Prove that a line joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. Okay. To understand this question, let us take the help of a diagram. So I have taken ABC triangle. Okay. And the line joining the midpoints of any two sides. So I am taking the two sides as AB and AC. And I am taking the D as the midpoint of AB and E as the midpoint of AC. And I am joining this. Now this will be the line joining the midpoints of these two sides. So now what we have to prove? That line drawn is parallel to the third side. We have to prove that this line drawn DE is parallel to BC. That is, we have to prove. Okay. So given in triangle ABC, D is the midpoint of AB such that AD is equal to BD and E is the midpoint of AC such that AE is equal to EC. Now what we have to prove? DE is parallel to BC we have to prove. So for that we need to construct that join DE. So I have already joined. So now let us start the proof. Okay. So now first of all, let us find out the ratio AD by DB. Okay. That is the ratio in which DE divides AB is what? AD by DB. And we know that AD, DB both are equal. So we can write AD by AD, that is equal to 1. Why? Because AD is equal to DB. Okay. Next. Similarly, the ratio in which DE divides AC is equal to AE by EC. And we know that AE is equal to EC. Why? Because E is the midpoint. So I am writing in the place of EC, I am writing AE once again. Okay, you will get 1. The reason AE is equal to EC. Okay. So here if you observe, AD by DB and AE by EC, both ratios we have got equal. So I am writing the same. AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. Okay. Now we can say that the DE is dividing both the sides in the same ratio. So from converse theorem of BPT, we can say that the line is parallel to BC. So therefore, DE is parallel to BC from converse of BPT. Hence proved. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 6. In the given figure, DE is parallel to OQ. This DE is parallel to OQ. And DF is parallel to OR. Okay. So what we have to show? We have to show that this EF is parallel to QR. Okay. Now let us prove this. So what is given? Given in triangle. Let us take this triangle POQ. In triangle POQ, DE is parallel to OQ. So now we know that if a line drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, then it should divide the other two sides in equal ratio. That is according to BPT theorem. So what we can write? PE by EQ is equal to PD by DO. PD by DO from what? BPT. So let it be equation number 1. So now it is also given that in triangle POR, what is given? DF is parallel to OR. This DF is parallel to OR. Now by applying the same concept that if this is parallel to this side, then it should definitely divide other two sides in same ratio, that is PD by DO is equal to PF by FR. Okay, again from the same, that is BPT theorem. Let it be equation number 2. Now here if you observe equation number 1 and equation number 2, you can see PD by DO common. So we can write that PE by EQ is equal to PF by FR. So from equation number 1 and 2, we can write PE by EQ, okay, is equal to PF by FR. If you observe, this PE by EQ is the ratio in which EF divides PQ. This EF is dividing PQ in the ratio PE by EQ, and the same EF is dividing the PR in the ratio PF by FR. Okay, so that means what we can understand here, this EF is dividing these two sides of PQR triangle, that is PQ and PR, in same ratio. So we can say that from the converse theorem of BPT, if a line drawn is dividing two sides in the same ratio, then that is parallel to the third side. So we can write this EF is parallel to QR from converse of BPT. Hence proof. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 7. In the adjacent figure, A comma B and C are the points on OP, OQ, OR respectively. A is on OP and B is on OQ and C is on OR, such that this AB is parallel to PQ and AC is parallel to PR, and we have to prove that this BC is also parallel to QR. We have to prove. Okay, now let us prove that. So first of all, let us consider POQ triangle. Okay, in triangle POQ, what is given? Given that AB is parallel to PQ is given in this triangle. So if this is parallel to this, then we can write that AO by AP is equal to OB by BQ. If this is parallel, then this divides other two sides of this triangle in the same ratio. So I'm applying the same, that is BPT theorem. Okay, OA by AP, OA by AP is equal to OB by BQ. Okay, from what? From BPT. Let it be equation number 1. So again it is given that in triangle POR, okay, what is given? AC is parallel to PR is given. So now that means similarly AC is dividing these two in same ratio, that is OA by AP is equal to OC by CR from BPT again. So let it be equation number 2. So if you observe carefully from equation number 1 and 2, OA by AP both are same. So we can equate the RHS. So from 1 and 2, what we can write? OB by BQ is equal to OC by CR. Okay, OB by BQ is equal to OC by CR. So that means if you join this BC, then we can say that the BC is dividing this side in the equal ratio and this side also in the equal ratio. That means this BC is dividing this side and this side in same ratio. So we can say that from the converse theorem of BPT, we can say that this BC is parallel to QR from converse of BPT. So what we have to prove? The same thing. So hence it is proved. Now let us look at the next question. Question number 8. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to CD and its diagonal AC and BD are intersecting at each other at point O. And now we have to show that AO by OB is equal to CO by DO. Okay. So now what is given? ABCD is a trapezium with AB parallel to DC and O is the point of intersection of the diagonals AC and BD. Now what we have to prove, required to prove is AO by DO is equal to CO by DO. Okay. So for that we need to construct one thing, that is construct a parallel PQ through the point of intersection O. Okay. So I am constructing one PQ line which is passing through O. Construct PQ parallel to AB and parallel to CD passing through O. Okay. Next, consider this triangle. Okay, ADC triangle consider. So in triangle ADC, this PO is parallel to this side, so we can say that this side divides this side and this side in equal ratio. That is AP by PD is equal to PO is parallel to DC, therefore AP by PD is equal to AO by CO. From which BPT theorem. Let it be equation number 1. Similarly, consider this triangle, that is ABD. So in triangle ABD, again the PO is parallel to AB. PO is parallel to both AB and CD actually. So I am taking PO is parallel to AB. So if this is parallel to this, then this divides other two sides in equal ratio. That is again AP by PD is equal to DO by DO. Okay. So from again which BPT theorem. Let it be equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, if you observe carefully, AP by PD both are same LHS. So we can equate the RHS. So therefore, from 1 and 2, we can write AO by CO is equal to DO by DO. And if you exchange these places, you can write that AO by this BO comes here is equal to this CO goes there. So CO by DO, which is our required thing to prove. Okay, hence it is proved. Now let us look at the last question of this exercise. Ninth question, draw a line segment of length 7.2 centimeter and divide it in the ratio of 5:3 and measure the two parts. Okay, the given length of the line segment is 7.2 centimeter and the given ratio is 5:3. In the previous classes, in 6th and 7th classes, we used to divide the given line segment in the given ratio by using ratio and proportion concept. We used to count the total number of parts in the ratio, that is 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 parts, and we used to find out each part value by dividing the given length 7.2 centimeter by 8. Okay, then afterwards we used to find out the 5 parts value separately and 3 parts value separately, like that. But in this case, we use basic proportionality theorem concept to divide the given line segment in the given ratio. Okay. So I have already written the steps to avoid the time waste. So now let us start the steps. First of all, we have to draw an AB line segment of 7.2 centimeter. What is the first step? First of all, we have to draw the given line segment of given length, that is 7.2 centimeter. The next step, you have to draw a ray, AX ray. What is that ray name? AX ray, which is making an acute angle. What should be this angle? This angle should be acute angle. Okay. Next, afterwards, you have to locate a point A1. You have to locate a point A1 on the ray AX with the center A by using compass with any convenient radius. With any convenient radius with the center as A, you have to locate a point A1 on the AX ray like this. Then after locating the point A1, similarly you have to locate the points A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7 up to A8. Why up to A8? Why? Because our total parts are 5 plus 3 is equal to 8 parts. So we should take up to A8. Okay, so after taking up to A8, then we should join this B and A8. So I'm joining here. Okay, so after joining B and A8, then if you see this A to A total, it is divided into 8 equal parts. Okay, we have to locate up to A8 such that this AA1 and this A1, A2, A2, A3, A3, A4, A4, A5, A5, A6, A6, A7, A7, A8 distances should be equal. Okay, so now this is divided into total 8 equal parts. So we have to divide this in the ratio of 5:3. So first of all, let us divide this into 5:3. So you will get up to 8, 5, up to here you will get 5 parts, and this will be of 3 parts. Okay, so now we have to choose the point based on the given ratio. Okay, so this is the A5 point, and from A5 point we have to draw one parallel to the A8B2 which intersects AB at C. So now I am drawing parallel. Now this is completely vertical in my case. So I am drawing parallel to this. So you will get vertical here which cuts AB at C. Now this is 5 parts value and this is 3 parts value. Okay. So now let us verify this. So after getting the point C which divides AB in the ratio 5:3, let us measure this AC and BC. I don't have any geometrical items to measure, but you can measure. You will get definitely AC is equal to 4.5 centimeter and CD is equal to 2.7 centimeter. Okay. So what we have to verify? We have to verify whether C is dividing in the given ratio or not. Okay. So AC is to CD you have to find. This is 4.5 centimeter and CD is 2.7 centimeters. So I am cancelling the decimal point here. So you will get 45 is to 27. And if you cancel with the 9 table, you will get 9 5s are 45 and 9 3s are 27, which is our required ratio. So we can say that it is verified. Okay. Once again, let us look at the points. First of all, we have to draw AB line segment of 7.2 centimeter. Okay. Next step, draw a ray AX making an acute angle with the AB. We have to draw the AX ray which is making an acute angle with the AB. Next, with center as A, that means from A point with any convenient radius, draw an arc and locate a point A1 first. First of all, we have to locate the point A1. Then similarly, A2, A3, A4 up to A8 on AX such that AA1 is equal to A1, A2 is equal to A2, A3. That means distance between any two successive points must be same. Okay. So now we have to join the last point and the B, that is A8 and B, to get A8B line segment. Now from A5, why we are taking A5? Why? Because this A5 is dividing AA8 in 5:3 ratio. Okay, so from this point we have to draw a parallel to A8B to intersect AB at C point, and the C point is nothing but which divides the AB in the given ratio, that is 5:3. Now why we are getting like this? Now let us understand the concept behind that. Okay, and we know that in the BPT theorem we have learned that if a line drawn parallel to one side, if a line drawn parallel to one side of a triangle, then it compulsory divides other two sides in the same ratio. Okay, that means if this is parallel and if this divides one side, this side in some x and y ratio, then it definitely divides the other also in the same ratio, that is x is to y. Okay, so now what I am taking, if DE is parallel to BC and if AD is to DC is equal to 5:3, then this ratio will be also is equal to 5. Then AE is to EB is also we will get 5:3. So in this case, here we have taken C point. Okay, for understanding purpose I wrote with the red ink AB, and here C is dividing the 7.2 centimeter in the ratio 5:3. So if this is 5:3, if this side is 5:3, then we will get here also 5:3. That is the concept behind this. Okay, BPT theorem. Is that clear?